We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about crazy things that are going to happen in only one day. A lot of volatile price action in either direction could be expected from the crypto market based on what I'm going to talk about. And I think that this is really the point, the breaking point, where we will get a decision over the rest of the crypto market very, very soon. And I think we also have to talk about Ecomi and Veve right in the end, because I also think that there are some things developing which are relevant to talk about. So make sure to stay all the way through. So good morning to each and every one of you guys. May I ask you to smash up the like button and subscribe to the channel, please, if you haven't yet. Notifications on. Now, how are you doing? We did not see each other on a live stream for a very, very long time, and that was due to my traveling. I have been to Belgium, and it was quite nice to Brussels, to be precise. And before we jump into the crypto stuff, let's just quickly talk about it, man. I mean, that was I went to a place that had really, really Belgian typical. When I go to somewhere, I don't like to go to a country and then eat someone else's cuisine, right? I really want to eat the local stuff. So Belgium, what I ate, I don't know if I say this right, but what I ate was this carbonate or something like that, carbonate, which is like some meat stew soup-ish thingy. And the first time I ate it at that restaurant, holy shit, that was really, really, really good. Really good. I really liked this one. I think they made it the right way. That was really good. And then, of course, I also ate some mussel stew and stuff like that, like mussels. That was really nice. I'm German, not the biggest fan of the beer though. But it's good. It's like nice to taste, but you just can't. Most of them are super sweet in the end, and so on. You can't really go for a lot of them. Let's put it that way. Let's see the chat though. Patrick Bultman, GMPH, still convinced we will have an altcoin season. I think we will, but we really would have to have Bitcoin go crazy again. I may be totally wrong on this, right? I mean, don't crucify me afterwards, but I still can't see why not. I mean, it would be the first time that Bitcoin dominance stays up and no one tries to make money in the altcoins. That would be different. Trucking Hank says GM, Veve and VG Entertainment doing another drop. Okay, cool. We are going to talk about Veve, though it's not this drop that I want to talk about. It's something else, and I think it's a good development. Omeprazole says it's ogre. It's all ogre. Yeah, ogre or over? I don't know. But we will see. Okay, so let's jump into the crypto topics here. Let's see. So today is the end of the month, right? It's the last less than 24 hours until the monthly close. So let's see where we are on the monthly. We are exactly here. So nothing really big. I mean, we had wild swings up and down. We went down until 76,000. We are probably going to close around these levels, 82,000. And the upper side was 95,000 of our monthly move, right? But from the setup perspective, nothing has changed, right? What did change? What did change is that we have a lot of fundamentals that are kicking in and that can send Bitcoin either direction, and that probably contributes already to the more red. I've seen you're distracting me, man. I've seen Shrek, okay. Actually, I did not see. I saw the first movie though. Maybe it was not in there. Anyways, so what is contributing to the red? Core inflation in February hits 2.8%, and the consumer spending was 0.4%. So this is bad, right? And this came out on Friday. So okay, what was the market expectation? The market expectation was 0.3, not 4, and 2.7% in the core inflation. And that is really crucial because the market is now disappointed. And at the same time, the uncertainty rises because the market is now asking the question, hey, if we are easing now, are we in the risk of sending inflation on a real tear, and then we will have to go crazy with the rates, right? That is something that is nuts, right? So let's just assume this would really happen, that inflation turns around despite all this situation. Then we have a big problem, and the market is kind of pricing in the possibility of this happening. So even though core inflation excludes volatile food and energy prices, it's still not, or because of that, it's not good that it's going up, right? So this is what scares the market right now. This is one of the things. And what contributes to that is Trump's Liberation Day, right? And that is something that is being anticipated right now to kick in tomorrow and the day after. Like those 2 days where tariffs on reciprocal tariffs and so on are going to be placed on many countries, right? So we will see after these tariff announcements, there are fears about the US economy's path forward, which sends the market naturally lower because, and that's also very clear, the market hates this. Like the market hates uncertainty. It hates tariffs. All this stuff. Like markets don't like this, right? Because unnecessary cost. Although maybe the market also sometimes cannot foresee why this is actually happening. So here we see Trump tariffs will take center stage as the president's April 2 Liberation Day looms on Wednesday. The president is expected to announce reciprocal tariffs on that day, with investors closely watching the specific details. So they don't know the details, and if it's better than expected, the market will take a recovery. If it's worse than expected, the market will take another dump, right? And that can happen. We could look at even a slow start in April, but I still believe that April will be a better day, and there's some reasons for it that I'm going to go into right now. But let's see first the situation that we have. So usually what's happening, and this is after the halving, right? After halving returns, usually what's happening is you have a bottom, you have the halving, and then you have big returns, right? 96x in the first, then 30x after the other one, and then an 8x in the last after the last halving, right? And so the question is, we had this we have the halvings here in the green lines, right? And the red marker is actually not the bottom, it's the halving. And we see here, this is our marker for the halving, and we only have a 0.2x since the halving, right? Which shows exactly what Bitterbot says, buying like a madman. It shows that either everything's different now, or we're just not there yet, right? And I mean, to me, it looks like we're just not there yet. It takes some time. And to be honest, like, to reach this green cycle, we have until the end of the year, right? It doesn't play out as predicted in the short to midterm. That's right, doesn't. But that also doesn't mean that we can't that we can't go crazy here, that we can still have this run up, like this crazy from the bottom to where we are right now. We have a rough, what is it, like a 5x or so on Bitcoin, a 6x to the all-time high, but we didn't really really go into this crazy phase, and it would be foolish to assume that we just skip this phase, right? Maybe it takes longer, but I don't know. Like with all, and I will show you why I think it will still come. So here are a couple of things that are coming in from Metaplanet, for example. Metaplanet issues 2 billion yen in bonds to purchase more Bitcoin. So Metaplanet playing the same game as MicroStrategy, but here's the bigger player, Marathon. Mara starts massive 2 billion stock sale plan to buy more BTC. So while we are, or while we not, but while you and some of you are bearish, these guys are all raising money to buy more Bitcoin. Why is that? Why do they do that right now? Why don't they wait for this inevitable bear market that is coming right now? Why do they buy it right now? Because I think they're looking at the same charts as we do with a different perspective, and they say, hey, based on the end of QT and based on gold going up like crazy and based on everything, we are going to go crazy here as well. Betabot says, I have 7.5x since the dump this year. Keep loading. Hopefully 9x this month. We will see. Here's another one that is coming in now. I don't know how much effect this will happen, but FTX now starting to repay creditors after they had started to pay the original users. So there is 11.4 billion that they somehow found somewhere, and they are going to repay creditors with it. So that is some money back to them, but just so you're aware. According to this guy, we didn't even start the bull run yet. So if you so the question is, when exactly does the fun begin, right? And we see here, well, there's only the bananas on this really gives you a bull market, right? We have peaked above this really quickly with our last all-time high, but right now to peak above this and to only start, we have to go back to 109,000, and that would feel really good. And I think this is the logarithmic regression band, to be honest, because if so I think only above that's a real bull market. We will see. So now the question is, how does this start? And I think Marty Party has the right answer to it, right? It's a lot of text, but let's just grab the essence of it. So stealth quantitative easing continues. 1st of April, the federal debt rollover starts. So that means when the Fed has to help basically in getting all the nation debt out of the way. Okay. Before the Fed will announce the transition to growth of the economy from shrinkage of the economy, they will start stealth quantitative easing and make new liquidity without really letting you know. Remember, if Jerome Powell says quantitative easing, the market takes off. He won't say it until way after it has it has prepared for, right? So, for instance, 70 billion in treasuries are maturing in April. 70 billion, right? Only 5 billion will be allowed to roll off without reinvestment. The rest will be purchased at auction. So, more from the 19th FOMC Directive for Treasury rollovers, April 1st rollover at auction the amount of principal payments from the Federal Reserve holdings of Treasury securities. On March 19th, 2025, the Federal Open Market Committee decided to slow the pace of decline of its securities holdings by reducing the monthly redemption cap of Treasury's securities from 25 billion to 5 billion. Okay, so what they do is they have been offloading their balance sheets into the market. So basically selling their stuff, taking in money. Now they reduced that by to a fifth, right? 25 billion before, now it's 5 billion. So basically quantitative tightening was reduced by, what is that in percentages? By 80%, okay? So only those 5 billion remaining. Specifically, the FOMC directed the desk to beginning of April 1st. Roll over at auction the amount of principal payment from Federal Reserve holding Treasury securities maturing in each calendar month that exceeds a cap of 5 billion per month. It also directed the desk to redeem Treasury coupon securities up to the monthly cap and Treasury bills to the extent that coupon principal payments are less than the monthly cap. If the total amount of maturing securities in a month is lower than the cap in effect that month, then no principal payments will be rolled over during that month. The liquidity is coming, okay? So, basically, quantitative tightening is ending with these remaining 5 billion and the debt rollover that is going to be financed, resulting in liquidity injection before it's really known, right? So, yeah, like Omeprazole says, it could result in 6 month up only. Could be, yeah, but we technically, if you calculate the year, we have 9 months left, right? So, the question is, will this how fast will this effect kick in, right? If you see here, the market sentiment is as bearish as it can get, right? Because looks like the 4 years on Bitcoin cycle is dead, says someone, right? We are starting to see a significant deviation from the norm new paradigm. Well, if you did take only this cycle and then you experience this cycle, you would have had until here a significant deviation from the norm, right? And if you then have these two cycles and then you start pumping here, you would have a significant deviation from the norm, right? So not every cycle has to go on par with the other ones, right? Not in between. You can pump here and suddenly, oh shit, everything looks the same, right? Nevertheless, we have to recognize that we are not moving exactly with this, and so we have to be looking and be careful. But this could be very well a turnaround, right? It can be a turnaround. So I have this one here to show to you before we look at some of the most important charts. But this is just the future of crypto in China. I think this was interesting. It's only a minute long, but listen to this.
Sort of forward push by Hong Kong at the moment, a sign that trading and crypto could return to the mainland, which of course would be a huge boost for the market.
That's an interesting question. You know, Hong Kong is always the gateway to the Chinese mainland market. And Hong Kong is always used as the lab for experiments, either in economies or in new industries or new sectors. From what we run regulated exchange, regulated funds in Hong Kong. From our conversations with the regulators, I think in a way they are trying their best to use the one country, two systems as an experiment. If it's successful, I think there is the possibility the mainland China government will reconsider their stance towards the crypto and Web3 industry.
Do you think that's inevitable? Do you think the mainland government will definitely bring crypto back, or it's still a wait and see?
For a government to have a clear message, it takes time. From what I know so far, our conversations with the mainland professionals and related sources, I think they are now looking at the market and see what's going on in other countries, what's happening in Web3 industries, and then they may come up with their response.
Sort of full.
Okay, so mainland China testing out crypto market in Hong Kong, waiting for, hey, what can we do? Like waiting for to have a clear stance, right? Imagine crypto adoption in mainland China, holy shit, together with that liquidity and everything else. I mean, there are good things coming. Now, Stu is coming in at the exact right time, because I was going to look at gold, which is this chart that is so important, right? And look at that. Gold is on an absolute tear, sitting at 3,111. I think it has reached already 3,115 or something like that, and is continuing to rally. And usually, we don't know when it's going to take a breather, but when it does, you know what's up with Bitcoin, right? You know what's happening with Bitcoin. It still didn't follow, but it's coming. So the more this rallies, I'd say we are in for a treat. I mean, look at this, right? I mean, look at it. Let's just recap how gold goes, and then suddenly Bitcoin goes, and then, gold takes a breather, and then gold goes again, right? And gold goes crazy. And then Bitcoin, bam, goes crazy, right? And then breather, and Bitcoin takes a breather. And then gold rallies, and Bitcoin didn't get the memo yet, but then bam, Bitcoin rallies. And then a breather, and Bitcoin takes a breather. And gold rallies, and Bitcoin, question mark, right? That's where we are. Question mark, will this also be all different today? I don't know, right? I don't know. I think we will have a nice big fat rally here, right? I mean, this would be the first time. Like if you take all history, it would be the first time that gold rallies and Bitcoin doesn't do anything, right? Yeah, and so you could say here, right here, it was a long time from gold peaking and then Bitcoin peaking, almost 200 days. Right? Between the two. 200 days, the longest I've observed so far. Usually they're very, very close together. And then here, it takes a breather and Bitcoin still rallies, and then bear market, right? But also, the moment that gold has a real bear market, Bitcoin has a real bear market, okay? So, I think all in all, we're just waiting for this. And also, like, I mean, take global liquidity, take everything. It's just, I think institutions, central banks, everyone will be piling in gold and Bitcoin, like gold as a super main adopted thing that is history proven, and Bitcoin as the new paradigm. It will happen, right? Hong Kong was born to separate the mainland, yet become Western. Exactly. Man. I was going to Stu. What is going on, Stu? 8,000. Where is the? Oh, there it is. Look at this. Here's the Stu prediction. On the gold from 2nd of September 2024. Gold $8,000. That was, just to let you know, guys, that was somewhere here when we were going flatline or so here. No, somewhere up here. There we go. Somewhere here. Since then, since this prediction. This prediction was at 2,400 or so. Gold has risen 25%. Okay, Stu real gold maxi. We will keep it there until it hits $8,000, and then we say Stu is the god of prophecy. we are going to keep these predictions there. At least it's better than some of my predictions, right? So that's great. That is really great. This is important, right? When you're investing, you're not here for fun, right? You're here for CAGR, always. You're always for annual growth rate. So far, if Stu makes it into September around these levels, annual growth rate of gold for that year would be those 25%, give or take. Bitcoin on a rolling 5-year window is currently over 50%, right? 66.86%. However, this year will be cut off very, very soon, and then I think it's more like a 40% or so, yeah, of a 5-year growth rate. Still, that is one of the best assets that you can get, even if it's a 40% CAGR, right? Even if it's a 30% CAGR, you're usually outperforming most of the assets, most of the safer assets, let's say. And that given that we don't have a bull run, because otherwise it will rise even more, right? I mean, we are in a bull run, don't get me wrong, but we could increase this CAGR, let's put it that way. So let's observe. Let's observe how this develops for our return rate on Bitcoin. And so far, being in Bitcoin is not that bad. I mean, it doesn't feel good right now with this here, but to be honest, I mean, we are down. We are up from the bottom about 400%. If you take this wick even, it's then it's we are up 435%, and we have been up 600% to this high. Okay, so that's a good return. 600% is a really good return. Stu says it's great to watch, but gold rallying up hard means no bueno coming, unfortunately. Absolutely, yeah. Gold being on a tear usually means trouble. Usually means, or at least means, that the market is bracing for trouble. Okay. On the flip side, you could also say that, I mean, for example, the market was rallying into this top here, and in August 20, and that was coming out of C9. So actually, the market was preparing for something, and then it discovered, oh, it's not that bad, right? And then it went into this consolidation phase, peaking again here, and then sell off, right? So it's not that, I mean, it's not that the gold price really predicts something here, because the recessive phase has been going on exactly here, and also gold has been in a recession, right? So I think it's more that this is the time of uncertainty is a good time to sell gold, and that is where everyone and their mother is telling retail that they have to be in gold right now, and that's where all these companies make so much money, like the gold miners and the gold selling stores and so on, right? They are all selling into retail right now, yeah. But that's it, right? That's it. Cheers. Yeah, but it's true. It's true. Usually it means, actually I would rephrase that. You say it's no bueno coming, but I would say that it says the market is anticipating no bueno, and then when it sees it's bueno, then you will see this, right? or you will see this taking a breather. And then it's like, oh, risk, we can go more risky, bam, right? Whereas if the market fear comes true, then maybe you'll get like this mega pump, and then Bitcoin goes then to the downside, right? Listen, either way, right? Not talking about altcoins here, but either way, I will be happy, right? Because if Bitcoin goes down here, and goes lower, then I'm definitely stacking more Bitcoin. There's no way I'm not stacking more Bitcoin then. Yeah, and then it just takes more time, and then we have an anomaly, okay? But I don't think so, right? I don't think so. I think the opposite is happening. Now, what is really a bummer is, of course, the situation with the altcoins, because Bitcoin dominance sitting at 62%. Bitcoin dominance does not want to move down. We have a long wick here, okay, but we don't see this happening right now. And I think we need first more Bitcoin rise, more Bitcoin action before we can see that. It would be extremely unusual to not experience this at some point, right? So this is why I think the altcoin season will still happen, because the moment that all these things happen, like there's more certainty in the market, quantitative easing is coming in, the market is feeling good, gold taking a breather, Bitcoin is exploding because risk on feels better to people, right? They have some money at hand and so on. When this happens, I don't know, right? But global liquidity is already pumping, right? It's already going up. So in my opinion, it's only a question of when, not if. Okay. So that is that for the crypto. Now let's take a look at Veve. I want to show you something. Actually, I reposted this, I think. Let's talk about Veve. Where is it? There. Okay, so Veve came out and says, we've heard you, finally, right? I mean, finally. And we're taking action. Performance across the Veve Collectibles app is our top priority. And we have a dedicated task force working at full speed to deliver real, lasting improvements. Early wins. Key performance blockers have already been identified and removed, improving mobile and web experiences. Thank God, because that is really, like, this alone made me log in and see at least the main page is loading quickly. The problem is the loading times at the market. They have to address this. Next, milestone-driven approach. We're unlocking key improvements step by step to accelerate feature releases and the product roadmap. And then community-driven solutions. Your feedback matters and directly informs our improvements. Absolutely. So this is good. Communicating, doing something, and giving and hearing or listening to community feedback. Very, very important. We are not just fixing issues. We're building a stronger foundation for the future of Veve. Good. I like that. Right? Besides they are still being alive, I like that they are building something better. Right? That is good. There you go. The stage is set. Veve and YG Entertainment are teaming up once again for another chart-topping drop. Okay? Okay. So, let's see. Let's see what that is. Let's see what that is. That's like, are they going to drop another Blackpink stuff, or what does that mean? By the way, if you go on YG Entertainment, Veve is just up there. Let's give it like number 100 here. There you go. Okay, that is good. So another Blackpink drop. JW says, good morning on this Red Monday. Good morning to you as well, man. Rogue and Gambit drop seems to be something that they should have dropped on Valentine's Day, I think. Veve is making waves in Forbes. Our co-CEO Ben Rose shares how Veve is redefining digital collecting and leading the space from our incredible community to the vision and so on. Okay, there you go. Let's see this Forbes article. Let's look at it. Meet the New Zealand startup leading the digital collectible market. What's going on here? Why is this so on the... Okay. So collectibles are big business. Spanning comics are... This is really good. This is really good exposure, man. New Zealand-based startup Veve exists to service the market. We are now the #1 platform for licensed digital collectibles and comics. The platform sells original works and so on. We have got users in 180 countries who have collectively bought more than 1 billion worth of merchandise through us. Wow. So there's some things going on, right? Crazy. That merchandise also now includes comics. I mean, merchandise is a really weird way to phrase this, but okay. Veve Comics a year ago this month, publishers such as Marvel, Ablaze, Humanoids, and Dynamite make premium digital comics available through the site, releasing them on the same day as their print equivalents. Over the past 12 months, Veve Comics has racked up more than 10 million digital comic transactions and now hosts around 8,500 titles. Wow, that's crazy. So a little bit of history and so on. An error has occurred. Thanks. Well, you can read that for yourselves on the digital thing on the Twitter page, right? But that's good. That's good exposure. People reading Forbes. What else? What else? Okay, so let's what did I want to do? Oh, I wanted to look at the Ecomi, even though it's probably very depressing, but I wanted to look at the Ecomi chart. So let's just take one of these charts. I mean, it's not even as depressing as VeChain after our pump. Let's put the OMI USDT. Very depressing altcoin charts all around. But there we go. So volume, I mean, this is the only positive thing, right? Like, there's something going on here. Like, look at this volume when the price is just going flat, sideways, right? This is what's going on. And this is, well, let's say interesting, to be honest. It's going on since a while and it's coming up here. And every time I think, okay, maybe a little bit slower volume, there is a lot of more volume coming in. So this week just started, but there's a lot of volume right now in the chart for this exchange. Let's see, by the way, if we say this, let's see how it is on OKX. On OKX, not that much, to be honest. Like it looks like this on Gate. Why is it on Gate so much compared to before? MaxC though, okay, so MaxC has the same picture. And what about Bitmart? And Bitmart as well. So there's only one outlier, and that is OKX. Okay. There are perpetual BingX. That's not OMI. Okay, there we go. Okay, so these are the charts, but the volume topic, like, that is interesting, right? That this is happening on several exchanges at the same time. This is interesting. Do you think that we will see an alt season this year? Yes, I think so. Wild prediction here, but yes. Guys, by the way, we have 24 people here. I completely forget to ask for this, but please smash up the like button if you enjoy these live streams. that are not happening on a daily basis right now, but I mean, we're getting there again. Bear with me while I'm trying to figure out real life together with streaming, together with fitness and health and everything. So we're getting there. But yeah, that is that. Altcoins. What the fuck? For a second I thought it looks good, but no. There you go. Yeah, everything's in the red except for some coins that somehow like Form and Crow that refuse to go with the market. But everything else is a bloodbath, and to be honest, altcoins are not looking that great right now. They are not. I mean, we didn't pull this up since a longer time, but I'm going to do so right now. I'm going to do... Oh my god. Like, get out of my face. There. Others. I mean, that's the definition of getting wrecked, okay? Because that was really... Let's put it on a monthly directly. So we expected a 5-wave move, and we didn't get it. Instead, what we do get is that we didn't get our breakout for the cup and handle, right? We should have, if we wanted this, we had to close above this. We did not, so we get rejected. And now the question is, can we keep an uptrend alive? That's the only question that matters, right? Can you complete this somehow, right? Can you complete, something like this, right? An mega fat ascending triangle to still get this run going. That is the question. But I think it is possible. So let's see. We're going to close the month in 18 hours. How red this will be, I don't know. Oh, by the way, we didn't check for one thing on Bitcoin. Okay, so here we go. We are going to close the month, and we have a big fat look down. It's just like here with this exhaustive rally, right, on the TSI. And the TSI for me only relevant on Bitcoin for the moment, right? We have almost hit this, but I think there could be some more to go. So yeah, like the metrics, the stochastic RSI momentum looks to the downside. The weekly RSI is at a decisive point, right? So you really don't want to break down here for the RSI. Sorry, you can see that. I see you can see that there. The RSI. Let's put it on full screen. This is the RSI situation on Bitcoin right now. So you have here a touch point and here a touch point, and what you can see is it's not super clean as there is no reaction here, but technically you would have this, right? So you don't want to break this to the downside, in my opinion, right? If you do, not good, right? Not good at all, but it can happen. So we will see. So there's mixed signs, but I said it before, like looking at the TSI on a monthly, if this crosses, I will call a bear market and I will call off alt season and so on. Then I will put a check mark on complete anomaly. This was it, yada yada. This depends on the next 2 months or so, right? Within the next 2 or 3 months, you will get an answer on this, whether this is going to bear cross. We're not there yet. Wow, Bitcoin first time broke the rainbow wave to the downside on the green wave. This must be the rainbow chart, right? So I think I have this somewhere here. Also MVRVZ currency. Wait a second. Let's take one Isn't the rainbow chart somewhere here on this? I don't know. Bitcoin rainbow chart. There we go. I think it's this one. What you're saying. I think it's this one. So this is the old chart. I think you're talking about the new chart. Yeah. Yeah. We are back in the, what is that? In the still cheap? Is it that? Oh, in trading view? Okay. But here also it happened, right? I don't know. Is that an indicator? Rainbow. Bitcoin rainbow wave, is it that? There we go. Yeah, so on the monthly, oh yeah, I see. So on the monthly, this is interesting, right? I know this one, I know this chart. On the monthly, we're on the lowest band. Are you talking about the weekly or so? I don't know. No, but I mean, we are at the low, I mean, broke down from green, we are at the lowest band. If we break down from here, we break out of it. Did we ever break out of it? Did we ever? Or is this just adjusting always to where? Is this always adjusting? There. Here's a wick out of it. In the absolute fucking bear market. Okay, got it. Okay, so what does it tell us? Bounce hard. Where's the top zone? At 200k. Well, our prediction would be not even at the mid band. Okay. It's in trading view. So I think this one is cool though. I mean, if it's not this one, you have to let me know what the name is, because otherwise I don't know. But this one is a cool indicator. Let's see how this turns out. More lines and more colors. That's exactly what we needed, right? But yeah, to be honest, I mean, we will find out very, very soon, right? Yeah, I think it's this one. I think it's a good indicator. Thanks for pointing this out. I mean, we have been in this indicator always visiting the top zone. I think it adjusts, but this top zone starts at around what is it? I know you can't see it, but at around 190k, you're basically in the top zone, which absolutely makes sense, right? Also, this top zone's limit is somewhere in like the last, where this happens last is exactly December, and then the year is over. So this could be a cool thing to observe. And according to this, we can still wick down if we have negative news, but we should be starting the next leg up right now, right? Not losing the RSI, pointing up again on the TSI and so on. So I think, yeah, this is interesting to keep this at an observation, right? So guys, make sure to smash up the like button right now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Notifications on. We will have more live streams this week, and wherever you are on the world, have a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I catch you in the next video or live stream. Have a good one.